Hello, aspiring Java developers. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we are diving into a truly advanced and essential topic in Spring Boot, profiles and configuration. Imagine you have an application that needs to connect to a development database when you are coding, but a production database when it is deployed for users. Or perhaps you need different logging levels, or different external service endpoints for each environment. Manually changing these settings every time can be a nightmare, right? This is exactly where Spring Boot profiles come to our rescue. They allow us to tailor our application's configuration for different environments, such as development, testing, and production, without changing the core code. By the end of this tutorial, you will understand how to define, activate, and effectively use profiles to make your Spring Boot applications incredibly flexible and robust. Let us begin this exciting journey. Alright, let us start by understanding how we define these profiles. Spring Boot makes this incredibly straightforward. The most common way is by creating environment-specific configuration files. You already know about application.properties or application.yaml, which holds your default configuration. For specific profiles, you simply create files like applicationdev.properties for your development environment, applicationprod.properties for your production environment, or applicationtest.properties for your testing environment. When a specific profile is active, Spring Boot will load the properties from its corresponding file, overriding any conflicting properties defined in the default application.properties file. This means your development database URL can be in applicationdev.properties and your production database URL can be in applicationprod.properties, keeping everything neatly separated and organized. This approach ensures that your application behaves exactly as expected in each unique setting. Now that we know how to define profiles, the next crucial step is learning how to activate them. There are several flexible ways to tell your Spring Boot application which profile to use. Firstly, you can set the spring.profiles.active property directly within your main application.properties file. For example, spring.profiles.active is equal to dev will activate the development profile. Secondly, and very commonly, you can activate profiles from the command line when you start your application. You simply add -spring.profiles.active is equal to prod after the java jar command. This is super handy for deploying different versions. Thirdly, you can use an environment variable named spring_profiles_active. Setting this variable in your deployment environment, for example, export spring_profiles_active is equal to test will activate the testing profile. Remember, these methods have a specific order of precedence, with command line arguments usually taking priority, giving you ultimate control over your application's behavior in various deployment scenarios. Let us put this into a practical example. Imagine we need different database configurations for our development and production environments. In development, we might use an in-memory H2 database for quick testing, while in production, we need a robust MySQL database. We can achieve this elegantly using the @profile annotation on our configuration beans. Here, we define a dataSourceConfig class. Inside it, we create two @bean methods, both returning a data source. One method, annotated with @profile, Dev will create and return an H2 data source. The other method, annotated with @profile, prod will create and return a MySQL data source. When the Dev profile is active, Spring Boot will automatically inject the H2 data source. If the prod profile is active, it will use the MySQL data source instead. This demonstrates the power of profiles in managing complex environment-specific dependencies without conditional logic scattered throughout your codebase. While Spring Boot profiles are powerful, it is easy to stumble upon a few common mistakes. One frequent error is forgetting to define a default profile or not having a fallback application.properties. If no profile is explicitly activated, and there is no default configuration, your application might fail to start or behave unexpectedly. Another mistake is overcomplicating profile logic, leading to too many profile-specific files or nested conditions, which can become hard to manage. To avoid these pitfalls, here are some best practices. Always ensure you have a robust application.properties as your default, handling common settings. Use clear and descriptive names for your profiles, such as dev, test, prod. Externalize sensitive configuration, like database passwords, using environment variables or dedicated secret management tools, rather than embedding them directly in profile files. Keep your profile-specific configurations minimal and focused on what truly changes between environments. And there you have it, folks. We have covered the essentials of Spring Boot profiles and configuration. We started by understanding what profiles are and why they are indispensable for managing environment-specific settings. We then explored how to define profiles using application.properties files and learned various methods to activate them, including spring.profiles.activeProperty, command line arguments, and environment variables. We also saw a powerful practical example of using the @profile annotation to conditionally load beans, like different database configurations, based on the active profile. Finally, we discussed common mistakes and best practices to help you write robust and maintainable Spring Boot applications. Remember, practice is key. Try setting up different profiles in your own projects. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a big thumbs up, share it with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel for more advanced Java and Spring Boot content. Keep coding, keep learning, and I will see you in the next video.